Hey everyone, I'm going to go over this question that Miguel had a question about, and hopefully they can help you out. I'm just gonna go over it and tell you a little bit about the thinking that I will go through to solve these kinds of questions, and it might help you out. It's more about test skills and not really about the words. You probably know the words, but maybe you're confused because you're not used to this kind of tests. So I'm going to read the passage and some things that if they're going to ask me about an understanding, then I'm going to ask some questions about what, where, when, and why to know what's going on, like what's happening, what person is doing anything, is there anything going on, and why and where also. So I'm going to start with the first paragraph. It says, "Hi, Uncle Jerry. I hope you're doing well. I am taking a music class, and our teacher asked us to learn about a specific career in music." So, just stopping there, we can see there's two people, and the first person is talking to Uncle Jerry, saying that he's taking a music class, and that the teacher asked them to learn about a specific career in music. So, it's two people. One is asking the other one for some information because his teacher asked him to, his or her. So then it says, "I decided to research conducting. Can you answer a few questions for me?" So you know that what he's trying to find out is conducting. Now let's go to the questions. Who or what inspired you to be a conductor? So right here, I can tell now that Uncle Jerry, is a conductor because he's asking him, what inspired you to be a conductor? Next one, what is your typical workday like? What did you study in order to become a conductor? So he asked those three questions, and let's answer our questions to find out what's going on. So who? It's whoever the first person is and his uncle. The other person, the teacher, is not doing anything, just asked the student to have some research about a career in music. The next, why? Well, that's why, because he has an assignment, his teacher asked him to do that. Then when, we don't know when, and what is, he's just asking those questions, and he's not really doing anything else, he's just asking questions, and that ends right there. So it ends with him asking those questions. So now we see the questions to see if we understood the main idea. So what we can do here is, with that information that we have about what, where, when, why, about what's going on, then I will go through this and I would see if there's anything that makes it true or false. So I'm gonna check out some keywords. So for example, the verbs, I know that he's just asking. So if there's an answer that says something like, well, now I see that his name is Benjamin. So is Benjamin playing music? I know that is not true, because from the passage, the only thing that he was doing is asking his uncle. So I might find an answer here that mentions music, mentions conducting, but if there's a keyword that's a verb that's different, I know that it's something that did not happen. So I'm gonna go over the first one. So the first one says, well, let's see. Benjamin asked Jerry to answer his questions for an assignment. So from the passage, we knew that what was going on, he was asking questions, and he was doing it because his teacher asked him to. So it was an assignment from his teacher. So this one is true, unless there's one that's more specific, then I would choose this one, but we're gonna go through the rest. So the second option is help him study for his music test. So we can break it down and see. Help him study for his music test. I think a keyword here would be test. The passage did not mention anything about a test. If I look, you can see sentence by sentence, the teacher asked him to learn about a career. I decided to research conducting. Can you answer questions for me? There's nothing here about a test. And you can see that the question was a research question. His teacher wanted him to find out about careers. There's no test mentioned, so I would say that one's false. And don't be confused because it says music, it says help him. Yeah, he's helping him, and there's music, but there's no test. So that makes it false. The third one, let him observe Jerry's typical workday. So it says, let him observe. So the action there is observe. If you go here, he asked at any point to observe if he could observe Jerry's workday. No, here in the third sentence it says, can you answer a few questions for me? So he's not asking, he's just asking the question straightforward. He's not wanting to observe. You can see that here he's asking, what is your typical workday like? So he's asking about the workday. He's not here, like it says here, asking to let him observe the typical workday. So don't get confused because it says typical workday, because here it says observe the typical workday. And in the passage he says he's asking what is his typical workday. He's not wanting to observe it. And the fourth one, help him join an orchestral conducting program. Well, is there any mention here about a program? Is there a mention about an orchestral conducting program? Well, I don't see any. I don't see anything about a program. I don't see anything about an orchestral conducting program. You can see that he's asking some basic things about what inspired him. So I wouldn't say it's this one. The one that's closest to true, that is actually true, is the first one. Answer his questions for an assignment. You can see the verb. There's two key things. The verb is answer. Answer questions. And this is what he is asking. Can you answer a question, a few questions for me? And that is the verb, answer questions. And the noun, what is the answer? This here it says why, for. So it's a why for a school assignment. And if you go back, it doesn't mention assignment, but it says our teacher asked us to learn about a specific career in music. So you can say that that's an assignment he got from his teacher. So I hope this helps you to answer these kinds of questions. I would say break it down, look at the answer, and look one by one if each one is true or false, and look for the keywords. So don't go in this case the first one was the right one, but let's say if this one was the first one, don't just look at this one and figure out if this one's true and answer it right away. Look at all of them, and since it's only one option that you can answer, you have to know that one is true and the rest are false. So if you're not clear on why the other ones are false, then I would say go back here and look for those keywords. And I think if you break it down like that, it's easier. If you imagine taking notes of what's the what, the why, the who, that will make it easier than trying to remember a whole paragraph of what's going on. So I would say try that and let me know if that helps you or if you're still struggling, and we can see it together. So no worries, we're on this together and we're gonna figure it out together. It's normal that you won't get it the first time.